I think the biggest challenge is probably going to have to be sexism, unfortunately. And how I've addressed it is I show up, I'm consistent, I'm resilient, and I push forward. I do the job every day, and I love my coworkers, and I think they love me.
Attributes that I own, if I was a man, would be perceived differently, right? And these are things that, are generational as well. And these are sometimes opinions even shared by my parents who are immigrants and are very traditional. So my assertiveness, for example, would be, as a man, would be considered assertiveness. As a woman, you can imagine what it could be perceived as. My passion can be misconstrued as, emotional. And so I'm very much aware of that. And so when I make my decisions, it's always pragmatic, because I feel that you can be passionate and pragmatic at the same time. One of the things that I'm pretty good at is being stubborn. If it's something I'm passionate about, if it's something that I truly believe in, then I'm going to dig in, as I call it, my 5-inch heels and just keep on moving. But it has been challenging.
When I started in police work 19 years ago, there were not as many female police officers as there are today. I would say the challenges that I've had to overcome, I'm not as strong or as tall as some other male police officers, but the way that I've overcome them is I know how to talk to people. When I'm out on a call, I can get a big tall guy to turn around and put his hands behind his back just by the way that I interact and treat him.
Some of the challenges of being a woman in engineering is being taken seriously and giving credit to where credit's due. So you start learning to advocate for yourself. Once you realize that you can be as good or better as your male counterparts, you start navigating the whole career system better. You surround yourself with good team players that help support you to succeed.
I think my biggest challenge was not having to keep up with everybody else and going at my own pace. And I realized here that you don't have to do what everybody else is doing, you just have to do what you're great at, and you continue to excel. Overcoming the challenges, I think, just takes time and some perspective and looking around, grounding yourself, making sure that you're doing what you need to do to keep yourself healthy and happy, and just make sure that you're successful.
One of the biggest challenges I faced having to work in the industry was being taken seriously. I felt like I had to work harder, but I had a great team around me, and they supported me and they opened doors for me, and I gained experience.
Probably the one that happens the most regularly is just not being recognized as a city manager. When I walk in a room with another assistant city manager or somebody else, it's incredibly common for whoever it is that we're meeting with that they just automatically assume it would be the male that I am with that would be the city manager. We have an incredible team here that also recognizes that happens, and they make immediate corrections to say, nope, this is the city manager. I think that's part of the challenge, is that when those things occur, to not respond emotionally or how disappointing it is, especially when it happens repeatedly, acknowledging that those things are going to occur and being comfortable in that space, that it's just not going to happen automatically all the time right now, but by serving in these roles we're going to make a difference, and at some point it won't happen anymore.
Being in this field as a woman, I think initially people wonder, is she serious, or can she handle it? Is she strong enough? There are still some professions where you'll find men not wanting women to be in it, or parents not wanting their daughters to be involved in it. And I'm one of those women that my mom is still concerned about my safety constantly. My brother-in-law, matter of fact, just retired from law enforcement. I don't think she was ever too concerned. But for me, my family is constantly worried about my safety. So I think a little bit of the challenge is knowing that I can hold my own and trying to convince my cohorts that I can hold my own and that they don't have to be as worried about me as they are, because I'm just as capable as they are.
Showing them that you can do the job, showing them you can pick up the garbage, showing them you can drive the vehicles. That initially was challenging, but they respected me. They didn't give me a hard time. They're more like family more than a challenge, in my opinion. So they've always been very supportive once I was able to show them that I could drive the trucks and pick up the garbage. As far as a challenge now, I think I just challenge myself at this point to be better for them, to be a good leader for them as well.